welcome. This is Barbara from Vienna, Austria. I posted a video last Sunday, so a week ago, with this little booklet where I was embellishing it. I will link this video below if you want to see how I embellished this. But I told you I didn't know whose tutorial I followed, and I asked you for your advice, and so many of you kindly commented, but a lot of you commented that it was Gi Kerr, and this is the booklet that Gi Kerr actually has a tutorial on, and I've done 3 different versions of this one, or 4 different versions of this one. I will go into that later. But I thought since nobody was able to find the correct tutorial for the one I did, I thought I would just make one. So part of this video will be just making the basic construction of this little booklet. So in case you want to make one of your own, that you can just do that, because the one I linked below in the last video from Roxy Creations was not actually a tutorial. So these are the measurements you would need for the first base piece, which is the left 2 sides of the booklet. Basically what you see here now, this part. This is what I used, but of course you don't have to use these measurements. You can use you can do it any size you want, just as long as the relation to each other is similar. So that basically this is one piece that you can just fold in half, and then there's a smaller pocket, and the next pocket is even smaller. So you can do any measurements you want, but if you want to use mine, you're welcome to use them. So I just cut it down to those measurements I just showed you. So that is our base, and that's going to be the little booklet to which we will attach the 2 pockets. So that's that first shape. Okay, very easy. And of course you can also do this with book pages or pattern paper or whatever you want. I just did it with coffee stained paper. So now we're going to do the bigger pocket, and I'm going to give you the measurements of that as well. I'm just marking where I need to cut the paper first, and then I will measure that so that I can give you the measurements. So I'm just making it a little taller than the one there because I need to calculate that there's a flap as well that needs to be folded in. Okay, so that's the height that we need with the flap. Here I'm just checking how did I attach it. And now I'm checking how wide it needs to be, because we also need to attach it, and it needs to have a flap to glue over the side. And I know at the moment it's confusing. Do not worry, I'm just checking the measurements. You'll see in a moment how I'm doing this. I just had to find a way to duplicate what I was doing there. Okay, so these are the measurements for the big pocket in inches and centimeters, whatever works better for you. Okay, now I'll show you how I'm folding it. So I'm folding it over to the left, not in the middle, so that there is a space on the left with which we can attach it to the other folder. Now I'm also making a little flap on the right side, so maybe 1/8 of an inch or something like that, just folding it over. So I have this little flap, and then I'm folding it up from the bottom so that I will have a flap there. So I'm just folding the whole thing over to the top. Okay, so that's what it should look like now. And now we're going to cut off the right bottom corner. And next we need to cut off one of the 2 flaps on the bottom. It doesn't matter which one you cut. For this one I'm going to cut off the one on the right, but for the small one I'm actually cutting off the one on the left, and it doesn't matter as long as you don't keep both flaps on the bottom, because that's just going to create extra bulk that we don't want. So this is the shape you should have now. And now we're just going to glue the pocket together, and the flap is going to be attached on that booklet part that we've made. So I'm using my 3-in-1 glue, which I dearly love and recently received from Amazon. Using this is the first bottle ever I'm using, and I'm so in love with it. It's hard to go back to tacky glue once you've tried this, so that's a warning for you if you try it. Now we're gonna glue the flap onto the booklet. And of course, once you cover that, you won't see the flap anymore, because I covered mine with book pages. So then the flap is not visible anymore. So I'm just burnishing that a little bit. So that's the one pocket. So we've got 3/4 done now. And now we just need to create the small pocket. And it's going to be the same process. We're taking our sheet that's left over, and these are our measurements, or my measurements, in case you want them. And we're doing the same thing. We're just gonna make a little flap on the right side to close the pocket. About 1/8 of an inch wide is what I'm doing. Then we're folding that over to the left side, leaving a flap for us to glue onto the bigger pocket. So that's what we have. Now we're going to fold the bottom up so that we have a flap to close there as well. Make sure you crease it well. And so this time I'm going to cut off the other flap. So again, I start off with cutting off the corner on the right bottom, and I'm cutting the top as well. I didn't even do that on the other one. It's totally optional. And now I'm going to leave the flap on the right bottom and get rid of this flap on the left. So either one or the other. Don't leave both. Don't cut off both. Okay, that's the construction of the pocket. Now I'm just folding that up again. And that's what it should look like. And now we can just close it again using the 3-in-1 glue, or any glue you have. You can also use a glue stick or double-sided tape. Everything works for this. I do like this glue because it has a fine nib as well. The tacky glue has a wider one. So there's a little pocket. And we're going to, I'm just cutting down the corners here as well. Again, totally optional. I didn't even do it for the bigger one. And we're going to attach that to the bigger pocket now. So really easy peasy and so much fun. I could make so many of these. I could spend all day making these. Okay, so that's our base. And next we are going to take a hole punch. This is optional as well. I have this little one. It doesn't even tell me how wide the circle is for some reason. I got this locally, but you can find them on Amazon or Etsy or wherever, AliExpress. And I'm just punching a half circle to better be able to get into the opening. And then I'm taking my beloved tab punch, and I'm just taking another piece of coffee stained paper, folding it in half, and punching a little tab out of that, making sure I leave a little gap at the top so it doesn't cut off my top part of the tab. So now I have this foldable tab, which obviously I'm going to ink. And I'm just gonna glue on the both inner sides. And I'm going to attach that to my outer tiniest pocket, just because I think it's cute. And that is the complete construction. So there you see how it works. You can make different variations of this. You can just go crazy, do your own version. There's so many things you can do with these. And now I'm just showing you how it looked after I inked up all the edges. And of course you would just then make the tags to fit into your little pockets. And then you can decorate it. And as I said, I've linked my video down below where you can see how I decorated this. The only thing I don't show is how I adhere all the book page papers, because that is just boring and I think you don't need a tutorial. And here I just wanted to show you, this is a journal I've made recently to be sold at my local bookshop, and I just wanted to show you how this could look in your journal, because I always enjoy watching that when others show it. So you have your little journal and you can just attach it to one of your pages. You could even glue down the whole backside, or you could glue it down like a tuck spot so that you have another pocket there. So I think that's adorable. And then I thought I'd show you in comparison. This is the one I made following Gi Kerr's tutorial, and I will link that down below as well. So I've made 4 different versions. This was my first version and probably my favorite one. So I just put this in the middle of one of my signatures. So it has a little like a notepad in there that I made. This is also following Gi Kerr's tutorial, and I think it's so cute. And then I used this. This is a cutout from a book. I think that worked so well with this flip out. And all the images you see here are original book pages from a vintage floral book. Here's another little paper that you could journal on. And then it folds out one more time. And there's another little tag in here that you can journal on the back. And then there's the word cherish with some cheesecloth underneath. So that was a one-to-one following Gi's tutorial. So I love how that looks in the journal. And I'm going to show you, I think, 2 or 3 other versions. Same booklet, totally different style. So this one I made using a lot of like vintage receipts, and most of the things here are from a Happy Mail from Allison. And I love this one so much as well. It's incredible how different they look depending on what you use as ephemera. Then I made this one, and this is one I've made using some papers I printed from the Digital Collage Club. I think they're called Grunge, and I just love these papers so much. I just printed them on regular copy paper, and I just added this little flap on the left side, just because I didn't think there were enough flaps. Really like this as well. And then there's this one, which is also made with that same paper collection. And that one also has a little booklet in there. And then it has a tag there. And another tag in that one. And then it has a little booklet flip there. And on the left side it has a tab as well. So I just made tiny variations. But I love all of these so much. And then I thought, since I have this book out, I thought, why don't I just give you a little flip through of this, just so that you can see what I've been up to. So this is an antique book cover, and this is what I've made out of it. I've used some of the original pages in it as well. These are words from Emma's words list that I will have linked below. This is just from a snippet roll I recently made. Roxy Creations has some tutorials on those. This is a really old tag that I had in another journal that I just transferred to this one. Music paper. This is Gi Kerr tutorial as well. I will link that one down below. I think it's absolutely adorable. Also, the pocket that it's in is a Gi Kerr pocket. This is just some original vintage ephemera. This was from the original book. This is a ruffle, a fabric ruffle. This is just an envelope with some writing space inside. Another word from Emma's list, and another snippet piece. This is a paper clip I have decorated. another piece of the snippet roll. Some gold embossing I did there. A cute little bunny image and a Gi Kerr flip-up tuck spot. This is a fabric tag with some transparent paper on the top. This I have no clue who made that one. I mean, I made it, but I don't know where I got the inspiration from. I've made it such a long time ago. This is just a tag I made in a little paper clip. Just a mini collage of fabric, some more embossing. I really love the gold embossing. Another like cluster, which you can use at a tuck spot. This is another tag I made a really long time ago, and a little pocket and tuck spot made with music paper, some more embossing. This is just a tea filter that I've put a sticker on, another sticker there, and as you can probably tell, another Gi Kerr project. I love this pocket tag, and I just added this little recycled card that I just put some coffee stained paper inside so you can journal on it, and just put this little fabric piece on the back of the paper clip. Another one of Emma's words, some trim there. Another tag with another flip-up corner writing spot by G. This is just some very old book page, and no idea where I got that image from. This was from the original book. Another tuck spot. It's just a little collage and a little tuck spot there. Another little ruffle. Another Gi Kerr pocket. This tag actually is my own construction. I think it's so cute. This is also just a very simple tag. Then a little envelope that I made. Other side of that pocket, just a tiny collage on the front, and on the inside we have this real dried flower sewed into a transparent pocket, and another tag on the bottom. And another snippet piece roll that you can use as a tuck spot, and just a cluster there, and a pocket in the back with my business card. And I will add a letter in the front as well to the buyer. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope to see you in the next video, and try these pockets. They're so fun. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!